Hi friends, welcome to a How to Spot Handstand in really any inversion. I've got Gabo Saturno joining me here today. Definitely check out his page. It's amazing, filled with calisthenics, yoga, strength training, and so much more. You can check it out in the description box below. For today, we're going to show you a bunch of different spots that you can either train someone at home to do for you in your practice, or if you're a yoga teacher, how to spot your students. Let's get started. So first we'll start imagining your student is kind of brand new to inversions. And the thing with this student is what they're not used to is feeling their hips stack over their shoulders. And it feels really scary. And so when they're at it alone trying to kick up, usually that's what's preventing them. They're just not able to stack their hips. So for you being able to move their hips in space where they should be will help them proprioceptively know where their body needs to be in space so that ultimately they can do it by themselves. So you'll have your student take downward facing dog. And for this spot, you will place one foot in between your student's hands and one foot to the outside. That way you're here, you can keep your knees bent, you're not hurting your low back, pulling them up, but also when you pull them up, they can't fall because they would just land right on your body. So all that being said, you'll be here, knees are bent, you're going to take your hands to their hips. Remember, this is your newbie student, so you're not going to let them go the whole time. You'll have your student step one foot in, shift your shoulders to stack over your wrists, shrug your shoulders, it's the same kick up, they'll kick, and you're going to take their hips and stack them. And then come back down. And now we'll ask your student to bring the bottom leg up, so he does the same thing, kick, second leg comes up, you're just gonna hold them. Don't worry about what the handstand looks like. Forget about alignment. They're just like, oh my God, I'm balancing, right? Come on down. Notice I never let my hands leave his hips, right? So that new student will be scared if they feel your hands go away and they'll come on down. So stay with your student the whole time. As they start to get more comfortable, then you're going to kind of lessen your grip on them. So we'll show what that looks like here. So I'll actually start the same way. I'm going to take his hips up. When he's ready, he'll kick. Oops, I take his hips up. Now from here, I'm going to move to the side of him and grab his thighs. I've got one hand on either side. I've got a sturdy grip here. And now I can actually start working on alignment with him. Now he's so good, right? He doesn't really need it, but shrug your shoulders up to your ears, hollow out your belly, firm your quads, and then you can start moving their legs, whether they need to go back a little bit. Engage your glutes for me. Good. And then you're here as they balance. You can start moving their legs kind of in one direction. We call it the hot potato, right? And then to come down, you could lightly take their hips if they need it or they want that support, and then let your student come down. All right, so let's move into a couple of other ways that we can spot. So the next way is gearing up towards a press up. I wouldn't do this one with newer students because they need to be able to shift their shoulders and their hips to stack. And if they don't know that stack, it's not going to go very well. So come into downward facing dog, but this is a fun one and it'll help with a single leg press as well. So you'll have your student take downward facing dog and get into their handstand prep. So whatever leg they're going to swing up, you'll have them step in and lift up. Now this is one of those spots that requires you to work together. So you have to communicate to your student. So Gabo, lift your straight leg up. Now, I don't want him to kick up. It's a press, remember? So there's no kicking. It requires him to press down into my horseshoe grip and me into his leg, and then watch his bottom leg. It'll float up. So I've got this here, press into my hand, and then he floats up. Now from here, I can get his legs, and then we can do that whole spot. Come on down. I didn't want to block you there. So that's a nice one to really feel that float as well. This next one is for pike press, which if you've been practicing handstand, you know how difficult it is. So this is not one designed for beginners, but those of you working on your press-up handstand. What's nice about this is in press-up handstand, the shoulders pass the wrists. And oftentimes what happens with practitioners is when they come up by themselves, their shoulders stay past their wrists. And in press-up handstand, to get that straight line, you have to push your shoulders back. So you'll see in this spot that having my knees there at his shoulders, first, he rests them on my knees, and then I can help push his shoulders back. So you'll see it here. I'll have Gabo come into his press position here. You'll stand quite far away from your practitioner because remember, it's press up. They have to lean forward. He leans forward, I takes his hips, and then you can help him press up and back down. Let's do that one more time. You'll take his hips, he'll lean forward, all the way up, holds, and then to come down, you're here for him. Beautiful. Okay, so lastly, I just want to show how these spots translate into other inversions. We won't go through them all, but for instance, with forearm stand, we'll have Gabo take it. We'll work on kind of the second one we did here. So same spot. I've got 1 foot here, 1 foot here. He can kick up. I've got his hips. Good. I'm going to come around towards his thighs. We can play with balancing here. And you're just communicating. You can elevate your shoulders, engage your glutes, and then come down nice and slow. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a like, leave us a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe on both of our channels, and we'll see you in the next video.